In this tutorial, we're going to discuss example number 9, which is a generative percussive soundscape patch. We won't we won't need any new modules for this. So basically, we're putting into application what we have learned so far. And so please load up example number 9, generative Pluck space. So here you can hear it rolling already. At the centerpiece, we have a sine wave oscillator in the audible range. This has an exponential FM input, CV input, and an amplitude input here. So the amplitude input is coming from this randomly triggered envelope generator, AD generator. So that should be fairly straightforward. I can maybe, if we quickly plug this in. So here you can see the randomly triggered amplitude modulations here. In this case, every now and then it will be clicking because there's no glide module afterwards. Can't see it here actually, but that's fine here for this kind of patch because the clicks are actually appreciated. So this, when I unplug this, the patch is permanently running. So now it's plugged back in again, and so you can see it's getting more quiet because of, this is actually closing the VCA in there. So if I unplug this, then it's always the full volume. Okay, and then for the exponential FM modulation here, we have two branches, this one here and this one. So maybe let's start with this one. We have a random source again, which is running on white noise, full audio rate. And this is being sampled at random intervals here, which gives it a little bit more, even more stochastic variation when you don't have a fixed sampling rate as like with this. It's a static tuck, 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 tuck way of sampling this internally. But if you do it like that, only if this is rising above 0 here, the value of this is rising above 0, then this value here will be triggered. So you have two chaotic random elements here at place, which basically means that the sound that the sound events won't be so evenly spaced, but it will be instead of like tuck, 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 you can go it will be more broadly spaced. Then here we have an attenuverter, which decreases the range of the signal. Basically what this does, if we look at the at the FFT, so this is deciding about the bass pitch of the oscillator. If we increase the range here, then it will be going up and down, broader, so even higher and even lower. So in ranges that we don't, which we cannot hear, or which we do not want to hear, especially in the highs. So I turned it around here so that basically the range is only about this. It goes down to very low frequencies, but not into the infrasonic range, and it's not going too high. This is being quantized to minor, as so often. And then, being fed into the exponential FM. This pitch here is being added, of course, which could be used to pitch everything up and down, but I just left it at the neutral position here, which basically means that it is also tuned absolutely to the scale of a keyboard. Okay, and then we have this. Excuse me. And then we have this branch over here, up here. So there is a random source which is being sampled quite often, and this is also triggering an AD, slightly reduced in its amplitude, and this is producing these pitch sweeps. So this if I let go of these. Yeah, so now it's longer decay, so we can hear it better. It is, sounds like a laser, basically, like that. So the pew pew here it's coming from up and moving downwards in the frequency. Right. So this is the melody. Together with the laser sweeps and with these AD modulations here. Right, and so what else is happening? We have a reverb here. Nothing special, it's just normal settings, not too big, mixed. The dry wet is in the center position, so we do have the dry signal, which actually sounds like this, if you want to listen to this. But you also have the wet signal in there, and then we have a compressor, which, because there are these quite aggressive pluggy elements here going on, very attack richy, snappy, transient rich. So we take that to reduce the dynamic range and make it more pleasant to listen to. If, for instance, I were to dial down the ratio so that this compressor is not doing so much anymore, you would hear how the sound gets more aggressive. Let me just demonstrate this. So dial this in, maybe not as much as I had it. It's a question of choice as well, and you can, if you record something like that, you can also do it afterwards, of course. Not to be overdone compression at an early stage in your production. And then we have the usual volume attenuator dial here. And one interesting thing I found, if I totally go to the wet signal here with the reverb, I found it to be sounding quite interesting, actually. Right. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that you have to know about this patch here. Gives an example of more like complex abstract music kind of like patching. It's not that many modules really, which is the beauty about modular synthesis. You don't, if you get the patches right, you get a lot of complex variation, organic soundscaping, without a lot of CPU resources and without a lot of patches, unlike if you would be loading VST instruments in a DAW or something like that. So that's it for this patch, and for this example. Thank you very much. And that's it for tutorial number 6.